Hello everyone, this is Just a Dad. Today I'm going to show you a rinse pod. We're going to use a rinse pod in this new K Supreme Smart Coffee Maker. So I just got this coffee maker about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and I've had some viewers ask me, can you use a rinse pod in this new K Supreme? So I'm going to show you how and kind of talk about rinse pods a little bit. So first, let me just show you what a rinse pod is. This is the Keurig brand rinse pod. And there's like a powder in here. It looks just like a normal K-cup. And inside here, there's that powder. There's not much powder in there, and that's all that's in there. So you can buy rinse pods. This is $8. You get 10 of them for $8. That means they're 80 cents a piece. So this is a box of rinse pods. They also come in your 3-month brewer care kit. You get 4 rinse pods. You don't save any money. They're still 80 cents a piece, but you do get them inside this brewer care kit. And they also come in this new starter kit. They call it kind of the 3-month brewer care kit. You get 2 pods in this. This is $5. They're still 80 cents a piece. So rinse pods are very easy to use. We're going to put it in there like a normal K-cup. We're going to do an 8-ounce brew. We're going to take the rinse pod out. Then we're going to perform an 8-ounce freshwater rinse. And then the brewer will be ready to go. They do have some harsh chemicals in them: maltodextrin, sodium bicarbonate, citric acid, and sodium citrate. Now let's discuss kind of when you should use these. So this says for better tasting coffee, safe and effective, use weekly. I'm not sure about weekly. I might use them every 2 weeks, maybe every 3 weeks. I do like to do a lot of freshwater rinses. I think the freshwater rinses without a K-cup remove a lot of the coffee grounds that are left over, but you do get some oils down in your bottom needle basket area. Now, one of the worst things you can do with a Keurig is after you've brewed your coffee, say you leave for the day, is the next day you come back and you're like, oh, there's the K-cup. That's actually really hard on a Keurig machine. You'll start to clog up these needles. You get some, especially on the K Supreme, you do get quite a few coffee grounds up here on these top needles. Now, I especially recommend freshwater rinses for the K Supremes, just because of the fact even when you're taking the K-cup out every day, right after you brew, you still get some coffee grounds up here. Now, they don't make their way down into your coffee because they stay above. You know, they're sealed here. They don't go around the K-cup. But down here in this lower needle basket area, we can get quite a few coffee oils. So if one person drinks tea or hot chocolate, or say you want to boil, or you want to just brew some hot water for some ramen noodles or something, rinse pods are a good thing to remove some of the aftertaste, because there is some aftertaste left over in that lower needle basket area. So let's just put, this one's been used for a while. Let's just put a rinse pod in and see what happens. So I'm going to put it in. I'm kind of curious if the Brew ID, if it senses it has a rinse pod. It does. Interesting. Okay. So it set some setting. It went to intense and hot. The 8-ounce is lit and the K button's lit. So let's just, so it's keeping track. It knows that that's a rinse pod I put in. It kind of suds up really good there for a while, and then it'll just look like water coming out. And the screen even tells us it's doing a rinse pod. Weekly cleaning with the Keurig helps reduce flavor. Yeah, I really like this brewer. Now, mine is connected to the internet. So even on the screen, it tells me on my tablet it's brewing a rinse pod. So this takes a while. These rinse pods, they've got it on a very high intensity, so it's kind of a slow brew. That's why this is taking a while. Okay, there it finished up. I wonder if it's going to tell me I need to do a freshwater rinse. Yeah, it does. Before brewing your next cup, remember to rinse with an 8-ounce hot water. Awesome. So let's just do that. There's the rinse pod. So take the rinse pod out. Let's see how it did. Did it clean the upper needles? Yeah, a little bit. A little bit. Yeah, it did. Now freshwater rinses do that too. Did it clean the bottom one? Yeah. I'm going to take this out in just a minute and show you. But let's close it. Let's see what it says. Does it remember that we need to do? So no pod detected. So you still have to come up here and do a freshwater rinse. 8 ounce, hot water, press it again. So now that's a freshwater rinse just to kind of remove any leftover chemical. So you'll see there's quite a few coffee grounds floating in there. And this water is a little discolored. I do think it removes some of the oils that were in that lower needle basket area. Now, would a freshwater rinse have done the same? Yeah, but I do think these rinse pods do work a little bit. So if we look in the rinse pod, there's nothing left. Well, there's some coffee grounds look like or something, but yeah, it rinsed all the chemical out of there. We can recycle this. This is just aluminum, and then that's just plastic, so that's easily recyclable. And so you can see the freshwater rinse, the water is a little bit clearer than this one. So are rinse pods an end-all be-all to clean your coffee maker? No. I still think you've got to, you may once in a while have to clean the top needles with a paper clip. I've got a separate video on that. But I am going to show you, it is worth cleaning this bottom needle basket thing once in a while. So the sharp needle is right there. I like to poke from the bottom. There's nothing sharp. It can be hot. But if you poke from the bottom, this thing pops right up, and this is the needle basket area. Now here's what I think the rinse pods, you'll be surprised how much coffee oil staining can go on inside this. So let's take this apart. You just grab it like this and kind of just break it apart like that. It's got these two little ears. Be careful that they don't break. So sometimes you just have to get an old-fashioned, just a good cleaning. Get your brush in here. These 4 little pie-shaped openings, use a paper clip, use a paper clip on the needle, and you just got to get in here with a brush. Is that rinse pod going to clean this as thorough as me taking it apart and clean it? No, it's not. I do think it helps, but once in a while you do have to take this apart. So then let's just put it back together. You just snap these little ears back on here. Okay, it shouldn't turn and shouldn't pull off. And then this one's got this little boss area, and the caution sharp needles is at the top. So then you just put it in like this, snap it down, make sure the handle closes. It's no binding. And then you've got it installed correctly. So there's I've got another video that I show you the different rinse pods. So if you search Amazon for K-Cup rinse pods, you'll see there's all kinds. And I picked the top 4 or 5, and I compared them to the Keurig, because at first I wasn't on the Keurig bandwagon of using these, but I do think these are very well engineered, very well thought out. Some of the off-brand ones, generic ones, seemed like pretty harsh chemical, and it took a while to rinse the chemical out of the machine. I do think Keurig does take some time and thought into these pods, and I do think I only use the Keurig rinse pods. I don't use the other ones, even though they are 80 cents a piece. Again, I like to use them about every 3 weeks. I'll put a link to all these products in my show description notes. Check out my other videos. I show you how to use the 3-month care kit. Even this care kit, I show you how to use it. I'll show you how to descale this coffee maker. So this was fun. I learned something today. I learned that the Brew ID actually recognizes a rinse pod. And it will only recognize it though if you've got it connected to Wi-Fi. That Brew ID, you have to have your brewer connected to Wi-Fi for that to work. So thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate everybody's support for my channel. It's been my coffee journey. Check out my Saturday morning live stream, Coffee with Dad. We have several members that join. We got a chat room that's open. People talk in the chat room. You can ask me coffee questions. I'll grab a coffee maker out. We'll go over whatever you'd like to go over. I'll pick a coffee maker. Maybe I've been getting some new ones in the mail, so I dig those out, open them up, go through them. So check those out. Saturday mornings, Coffee with Dad, 9:30 a.m. Central Time. Thanks again. If you could, please like and subscribe.